This was a test only for geniuses. The challenge was to cross a room without stepping on any of the black or white squares on the floor. The only safe spots were a few yellow squares, but they were spread far apart. The first girl looked at the room and gave up immediately, saying no one could do it. As expected, she was eliminated. Next came the second girl. She threw a rope across the room, tied it to the door on the other side, and used it to swing across without touching the floor. The third boy was strong and athletic. With one big jump, he quickly made it across. The fourth boy found a loophole. Instead of stepping, he dropped to the floor and slowly crawled using only his elbows and knees, avoiding touching the floor with his feet. Then came the last boy. He simply looked at the room and walked straight through. Everyone was stunned, but he passed the test too. He explained that the rules said no stepping on squares, but the squares on the floor weren't equal in length and width, so they were rectangles, not squares. The examiner satisfied and took them all to the next round of testing. In the second challenge, they had to get through a maze in under 5 minutes, then climb a staircase and ring a bell at the top. Only the first 3 people to ring the bell would pass. As the bell rang to start, the test began. Rennie noticed that every door had an arrow symbol, but the arrows made no sense. Then he remembered what Rhonda once told him. Only by closing your eyes and feeling with your heart could you find the path. That's when he realized the symbols were written in Braille. Meanwhile, Kate, who always thought outside the box, used a wrench to open the ventilation system and crawled above the maze toward the goal. Jack, who had a strong memory, went the traditional way, trying one path after another by trial and error. But what he didn't know was that White was secretly following him. Just as Jack found the right exit, White knocked him down and rushed up the stairs first. Rennie heard the noise and came back to check on Jack. Jack told him to go. There were only 15 seconds left, but Rennie chose to stay with him. In the end, only White rang the bell before time ran out. Kate had arrived earlier, but didn't ring the bell alone. She waited. She wanted to ring it with the others. When the time was up, she, Rennie, and Jack stepped forward and rang the bell together. Then the teacher announced the results. White was eliminated. He was confused. He was the first one to ring the bell, but the teacher reminded him. The rule said the first 3 people must ring the bell, not just the first 3 individuals. Since Kate, Rennie, and Jack rang it together, they passed. Later, they arrived at the Genius Academy, where a teacher gave them a new challenge. There were 3 switches on the wall, and only one of them controlled the light in the upstairs classroom. But they could only go upstairs once to check. The task was to figure out which switch controlled the light. Some students quickly tried to answer, but they were silenced by a girl's glare. The teacher then asked her to answer. She confidently gave a serious but clearly wrong answer. Other students tried too. All were incorrect. Then Rennie raised his hand. He explained, first, turn on the first switch and wait at least 10 minutes. Then turn it off, turn on the second switch, and run upstairs. If the light is on, it's the second switch. If the light is off, touch the bulb. If it's still warm, it means the first switch was correct. If it's cold, then it's the third switch.